He got a stylist that said, oh yeah, wear this, whatever. He don't know who the fuck the Cro Mags are. John Joseph, lead singer of the Cro Mags, author from New York City. And I'm here at punkworldviews.com, 'cause punks matter. Well, really it was an evolution. I mean, I grew up listening to soul music, so, and then I got into, I was into rock music and punk in the 70s, so I mean, hardcore kind of came out of the whole punk movement. So, I think I definitely had a lot of aggro energy, so, and then seeing, you know, bands like The Clash and the Bad Brains and the Damned and all that stuff in the 70s and 80s definitely influenced me a lot. So I think it had a lot to do with it, sure. Yeah, I met the Bad Brains in like March of 1980 or April, around there in Norfolk, and went AWOL from the Navy, and when I came up to New York, I got a job working as security / drum tech. So I did their first like tour, you know, down south and stuff. So yeah, I mean, we were friends. We're still friends. Yeah, we're still friends. We're putting together a project, Doc and Daryl and me and Mackie. So I mean, you know, they're still, we're still in touch all the time. We just did a radio show together, me and Daryl. So, you know, great guys. They're still kicking it, you know, almost 40 years later, so. The old school people, yeah, that know me as Blood Clot, and, you know, a lot of people don't know why, but, you know, because the roadies of the Bad Brains formed a brand called Blood Clot, and then it was John from Blood Clot, John Blood Clot, then just Blood Clot. So it's funny though, cause my friend's little kid is like 3 years old, this little girl, and we were in a health food store, and she calls me Uncle Blood Clot. It's hilarious. So she was online, and this Rasta lady was online to buy something at the health food store, and she runs over the little girl and picks up a piece of candy and was like, Uncle Blood Clot, I want this, Uncle Blood Clot. And the lady was like, no, your name is not Uncle Blood Clot. I was like, yeah, it's a long story, but yeah, some people still call me that. What can you do? I mean, the own previous band members, everybody, even the own band members bootlegged our shit at this point. We've been robbed by everybody, so, you know, I mean, if I find a specific motherfucker, like in Europe, was like bootlegging and I found out who it was, I went and took all his shit. I mean, I don't think that's cool that you bootleg our shit and like one dude selling all these like EPs and stuff, and it's like he's not giving the band no money. It's like, yo, you know, so we took all his shit. So it didn't call for him to get beat down because he knew better, but we did take all his stuff. Music's a gift. I mean, I think if people want to download it for free and do whatever, go ahead, but when you start printing up shit and selling it, then that's crossing a fucking line. Yeah, he didn't know what the fuck he was wearing. He don't know. I didn't think nothing of it at all. I mean, it's just fucking the whole shit. Punk rock, hip hop, all this shit ain't nothing about fashion these days anyway. He got a stylist that said, oh yeah, wear this, whatever. He don't know who the fuck the Cro Mags are. And I mean, you know, the funny thing is, I go to a lot of the old school hip hop shit in New York, and all them cats know who the Cro Mags were because we just been around New York for so long, and a lot of the, you know, we were signed to Profile Records too, but some jerk off like Chris Brown, he don't, you know, he don't know who the fuck we are. I mean, my whole thing is, you know, the message of hip-hop used to be revolutionary. The message of punk rock used to be revolutionary. Now it's just all smoke and mirrors that don't mean shit. So am I surprised that somebody with nothing to say is wearing our thing? No. You know, because a lot of this shit is just lost its edge as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, I'm working on another nutrition and training book, and a couple of books actually. But the next book is really going to be a lot more comprehensive in terms of plant-based nutrition training. I got some of the world's top experts in the field, and there's a lot more information that's come out about the genetically modified food, just all kinds of stuff. Because if we just, you know, take a second and look, it's got nothing to do with being vegan or whatever. It's like, why is everybody getting cancer? Why is everybody getting sick? So it's because of what they're doing to the food supply. So that book's, you know, on the way. And it's a cookbook, and I'm really into raw foods and juicing now. I compete in Ironman triathlon. I got my second one coming up March 17th. So it's really helped me a lot. So everyone always asks, you know, you're 50, you're doing all this shit. Like, what do you do? So after everyone kept asking and asking and asking, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to show you the practical application on a daily basis for a plant-based lifestyle, eating organic, whole food, plant-based foods, and training and that type of thing, and recipes. So, you know, that's the next book that I'm working on, and I'm working on the film adaptation of the first book now, of evolution of a Cro-Magnon for the screen, and see what happens. You know, that's really my passion is writing a lot, and you know. Well, first of all, I don't never use the word vegan, although I am. I don't wear animal products. And I mean, it's just become, to me, it's like a 5-letter curse word, you know, vegan. It's like there's so many negative connotations attached to that. What I like to say is eating a whole food plant-based diet is really where it's at. And, you know, from every standpoint, whether it be your health, the animals, or the ecology of the planet, it makes the most sense. I mean, if you saw Forks Over Knives about healing disease, you know, all this stuff they're doing with the dairy and the eggs and the fish and all this, you know, you don't need to eat any of that. And that's why, rather than talking a bunch of fucking bullshit sitting in a chair, being an armchair philosopher, that's why I go out there. I mean, Brendan Brazier, the Ironman triathlete who designed all the Vegas sequel stuff, is here tonight. So there's guys out there, Mac Danzig from the UFC, all these like super athlete dudes who are going plant-based. And it's like, if these huge fucking like athletes who do incredible amounts of exercise and can go plant-based, then anybody could go plant-based. And especially with women, especially the casein in milk is directly triggered to, you know, it triggers cancer cells in breast tissue. I mean, if you start looking to what they're really doing to the food supply, you know, you stay away from the genetically modified food. There's a great movie out now called Genetic Roulette by Jeffrey Smith. So if people start paying attention to what they are doing to the food supply, then, you know, you definitely want to go to a plant-based organic diet. I thought it was corny, man. You know, we weren't into that. I mean, when the Cro Mags, we was the first ones, let me just say, and, you know, the thing was, those guys, all those bands grew up in suburbia, Connecticut, and wherever the hell, man. You know, we got into spirituality. It wasn't like this whole cult thing. We were like living in friggin' burnt out buildings on the Lower East Side, having Puerto Ricans come in and fucking want to kill us to take our apartments, you know? So, me, myself, personally, it's been an evolution. When I, you know, wrote the lyrics to the songs on Age of Quarrel, it was fire behind it. It wasn't like, you know, we were trying to make converts. And if anybody talked to anybody that was in any of those bands, they weren't exactly the nicest people to each other. And, You know, not to say that we ain't had our problems, but we never really tried to go out there trying to be this Krishna core band, because that's not what we were. We were the Cro Mags. That's what we are. We're the Cro Mags. Not everybody in this band is into what I'm into, and I don't try to, you know, claim any proprietorship over anything. It's, you know, I chant every day and do whatever and read Prabhupada's books every single day, so that's my thing, you know. That's what inspires me. It may not inspire the next person in the band, but that's cool, because we're all brothers. Everybody that's out here on the stage tonight, we're friends 20, 30 years, so, you know. It was Bootleg, man. It was Bootleg, you know, and all their bogus gurus coming to the show, fucking molesting kids, and that shit is, I don't like none of them. I don't have problems with all the people, but all the leaders of the Hare Krishna movement, you know, when Prabhupada left the planet, they just stole everything and destroyed everything, and I have no love for any of them, man. You know, Prabhupada slept on the floor and fed everybody else before he even took a grain of rice. These guys got millions of dollars in bank accounts and drive around treating everybody like servants. That's not what it's about. The more spiritually advanced you are, the more humble you are, and the less attached to material things you are. I wrote about it in my book, Evolution of a Cro Mag, which is pretty funny, by the way. You know, we'll see what happens. We're talking about it. Somebody's working on some songs and stuff, but, you know, we'll see what happens. You know, it would be cool to put out an EP or something, some new music, but, you know, you have to leave it in the hands of the creator, man, as the bad brains say, man. Rastafari.
What label you would be?
I don't know, man. Who fucking give it away for free? I don't know. I never cared about labels. I didn't get into that whole 90s thing where, oh, we're on a label and tour support and fucking... We're all those fucking bands now. You know, we will always do it yourself, and that's what we still are, so... You know, that's why people still come out to see us, because we kept it real, so... No, just feel good, keep the PMA. I hope everyone enjoys the show tonight, you know, and support your local bands. Go out, keep the scene alive. Don't fight at shows, because that shit is retarded. And, you know, keep that positive mental attitude like the bad brains say. You know, keep the PMA, the attitude, and take care of each other. It's not corny to care about people. That's punk rock. Stick together. And, peace, you know. Give that plant-based thing a try, man. It works.